Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm Lucas and welcome back to a PSGL League Racing video here on the channel. The first of 2024 actually, now that I realise it. And yeah, we're doing the mystery track round, which turned out to be Spain. And yeah, this was our first league race in a little while, you know, with all the craziness of the last few months. But we are, yeah, hopping in for a bit of fun. And yeah, so basically how the mystery track round works is that you basically do not know the track until you're in the lobby of the race. So you can't practice like for the actual league race, if that makes sense, which adds a bit of mystery to it, as is in the name, and is, yeah, just a bit of good fun. So it gives a little bit of, you know, there's a little bit of luck as to whether, you know, it's a track you've got maybe a good setup for, or a track that you've done recently. But it's end of the day, it's, you know, a little bit of fun. But we are here, as you can see, missing pretty much every single apex imaginable on our first quali run. No, in hindsight, I now know I was using actually a bit too high of a front brake bias, or just a brake bias in general. I was just, as you can see, not getting any rotation into basically 3 consecutive turn-in points on braking. So this first run was pretty much in the bin, but yeah, we will correct that for the next time round, and we'll just go again on the next run. And as you can see up the top left, we are running 120 FPS, which is what we use in esports, which is why I wanted to, you know, stay at 120 FPS. I didn't want to, you know, drop down to 60, as it's not, well, it's just not relevant for esports in general. But obviously means that we have an inbuilt disadvantage, which I didn't really, I guess, because I've not done normal build in such a long time, I guess I kind of forgot how big an effect 60 FPS had, as you'll probably hear me whine about in this video, to be completely honest. But yeah, on our second qualifying run now, this time we do get to the apex with some slight adjustments, I believe, on brake bias. And yeah, we knew all we kind of needed to do was, you know, not do anything too stupid, and we'd do, you know, we should be able to get through no problem. Just hit the marks and you'll be alright. It's a shame we had to burn our set of tyres, but you know, that's how it goes. Quite a bit of traffic as we head towards Sector 3 as well. But you know, everybody getting out of the way as best they could, so you know, fair play to everybody, because that can easily end up in a bit of a mess. And yeah, now with just 2 more corners to negotiate, flat out, we decide to hold 6th gear, rev it quite high, nice and smooth, DRS open to the line, and it puts us only P6.
Yeah.
And yeah, at the end of the day, that got us through in P11, albeit it was quite close. But yeah, I kind of had the feeling very early in this session that, you know, we were kind of up against it trying to run this higher FPS, which was, end of the day, my decision.
Cheeks and adaptability really going
yeah,
through
that was something we had to try and live with. But as you're importantly saying now, we are 12th car in this train, and it's starting to rain. So that is really, really, really bad news for us, given that, you know, when it starts to rain in situations like this, every literal metre of track counts as to, you know, trying to do a good lap. And especially with us being on the FPS we're on, we knew we needed to do like an extra clean lap. So yeah, we were up against it as this rain starts to fall a little bit more and more. So we were going to have to do something, you know, pretty clean. But heading into turn 1 now, onto the brakes a little bit early this time, having to take a double stab really into the corner, braking a little bit early. But we've got the rest of the lap to make up for it as we head now towards the end of Sector 1, braking just around the 50 metre board, a little bit early again, but you know, managing to sort of style it out a little bit through the rest of the corner, minimising the loss, getting to the apex relatively well here. Car sort of pushed on quite a lot for us through there. I think maybe with a, you know, maybe in hindsight I could change a little few things here and there on the setup, but nonetheless, heading through turn, I think it's 9 or 10, I think it's turn 9, DRS open, and yeah, just the final sector to go now. We decided to hold 7th gear, not quite getting into the apex, something we couldn't really do well in some of these corners. The car just kept pushing wide. I think that was honestly just a combination of setup and the FPS, because the car just doesn't want to go into the corner. One more corner to go, but as you can see now, this is when the rain you know, starts to make its little bit of difference. We just get a lot of push understeer. We're P10 and now P11.
Never league racing
That's
without
what.
60 again.
Yeah,
Do one.
yeah, I was gonna say.
We can do one. If that's the way it's going to be, then I don't race anymore.
It also doesn't help. You were like the 12th car to start the lap.
I mean, we were pretty unlucky with the timing. Oh well.
Does he stay P10 or does Lucas get it in?
No, he stays.
9 cars in Q3, great. Nah, does this car get fixed? Watch out.
Find it.
It wouldn't have made a difference anyway, would it?
I'm just gonna use the quali setup. I can't be bothered changing it.
It's not. Well, it's literally doesn't. It's not going to make a difference if we have the best setup on the planet. We're on 120 FPS.
We may as well go up to 250 at this point.
So with our beautiful post-commentary of qualifying aside, we are now on the grid to hopefully have a little bit of fun in this race, and we'll see how we get on. We are on the soft tyre, 5 red lights on your screen, and away we go for the first time this year doing a league race. And everyone around us, crucially though, on harder tyres, so we really need to make sure we make progress in this early stage of the race. Yeah, we didn't actually get that great a start. We got a lot of bog. I know why in hindsight, but we got a lot of bog, which was not expected. And now we're hanging it round the outside of turn 3, trying to use that momentum to slingshot our way past Nico on our inside. We have Tom Manley ahead on the hard tyres. We managed to hang it around the outside of 4 on Nico. Now down the inside of Tom Manley. We're going to try and use the softs to give us that traction on the exit. Little bit of rubbing, but it's all right. Now on the inside as we head towards, I believe this is turn 6-7. Up the inside, and Tom relinquishes the position. So net 2 positions up off of the start of this race, and we are really going to try and make as much progress as we can. We have Shinaka Clay on the hard. We're going to go for it around his outside, and we're going to brake super late, diving into the free space, using that grip advantage. Maybe a little bit too late if the truth be known, but we managed to slingshot that momentum and get up into P8 and crucially into the train of the soft tyres. So an excellent first lap from us, and make that, you know, that was kind of make or break in some ways. Is if we get stuck behind those hard runners, our race could look very different. So very good that we managed to make some progress onto up to P8 and onto the back of this soft train as we skip on to lap 7, as it was very neutral as to what really anything really happening in those opening laps. The only thing that happened was Isma behind us got up ahead of Shinaka on those medium tyres, but now we sniff an opportunity to go round the outside of Luke Smith. We're going to try and go round the outside just like we did on lap 1. We leave him plenty of space. Luke driving as though out to the apex, trying to use a lot of room, so we dive it up the inside, and now we are going to return the favour. We're just going to get on that power, use the racing line, and that is us up into P7. So yeah, making good progress at this phase in the race. And yeah, now we are up to P7. I think, I don't know if I said that already actually, but yeah, now
gave him like 3 weeks of
on
space.
lap 8, starting to think about, you know, what we're going to do, the strategy later on, and also trying to regenerate some battery, because we use so much in lap 1, and around Spain it's very hard to regenerate energy. So yeah, but as we head into turn 1 now, Jarno goes up the inside of Duncan, but gets half spun as he gets stuck on the inside, and now we're going to go try round the outside of Duncan side by side, but yeah, just longer way round the corner, not really going to work out. We try and go side by side, but we bail out, and yeah, up to P6 though in this train in the race, as we have a little look for the inside to try and see if we can put Duncan off, but he doesn't react. And yeah, on to lap 10 now. Yeah, we have Isma behind now, with his mediums being in a better phase of grip than us, obviously being on lap 11. So he decides to use a bit of energy, make his way past us. We don't put up a fight, as ultimately we are in a major energy deficit from lap 1, and we don't really want to burn it if we don't have to. So we are just gonna keep ourselves topped up on energy, and as you can hear Anton telling me to box opposite Duncan, so we dive into the pit lane. I was really scared of a bump on that pit entry. I didn't know if it was still there or not, so very cautious around there, closing up a little bit to the cars ahead on the pit entry, which was good. And we had to have quite a lot of cars that were in the train on the soft around us, and Isma on those mediums boxing on this until in lap 12. No, sorry, lap 13 that we boxed on. Sorry. And so yeah, we have Alfie Butcher ahead of us, and now Isma ahead of us. Now you can crucially see we're on the mediums and Isma is on the hard tyres. So I knew that in the grand scheme of this race, it was pretty important for me to try and get past Ismail at the earliest point I really could, and preferably, you know, when our tyres were getting a little bit more heat into them quickly. As we can skip on to lap 15, Duncan, we managed to undercut. He has a 3-second time penalty, but we don't know if those are legit these days sometimes with how it can be. And Alfie and I believe Pookie ahead of us, going side by side, as Esteban comes out of the pit lane, and we have Ulash ahead of us on the softs, who has not boxed. He has damage, I believe, but this gives us a prime opportunity to have a look at the inside, dive late on the brakes, get up the inside of Ismail, which is crucial for us. But he gets nice drive out of turn 5, so we're now side by side. You can hear me complaining because he's on the hard tyres. We go right round the outside of turn 6. Not a move that, you know, I would recommend because of how risky it was, but we were going to hang it out, and we managed to make the move stick, which was, yeah, thankfully nicely done. And now on to lap 16, as we are, I think, a net P5 in this train, which was pretty damn good going given where we kind of started this race, and given, you know, again, FPS and all that.
As soon as you're in DRS, Wilson, just keep driving.
Yeah, now we have Jake Benham ahead of us. On the hard tyres. He boxed very early, so he's going to be, you know, out of sync and dropping down. But we don't have a lot of energy, so we do not try and go with this train ahead, and we wanted to try and be patient and pick up the scraps if anything happened ahead of us. As now Alfie and Jake go side by side. Jake gets half spun right in front of us, which completely ruins our momentum, and unfortunately for us allows Ismail straight back past us. And that really, really did not help us whatsoever, as now we lose the position to Isma. And yeah, unfortunately now his hard tyres are up to temperature and are only going to get better from here on out. So yeah, really, really unlucky there to get caught up like that. As we skip on to lap 19 now, we have the remaining people that stayed out boxing now onto the soft tyres, doing a bit of an alternate strategy. But yeah, after Wilson boxes, that is us
65 ahead.
P6. And as you can see, this is lap 33.
65
nothing
now.
happened. So that sort of Jake half-spin moment was really crucial in our race, determining position. There's obviously a bit of fighting going on for the top 3 ahead of us, but unfortunately nothing of that really happened for, you know, the laps between when we last shown at lap 20 until now. So yeah, we just sort of hung on, did what we really could, as it's impossible to make an impact in these trains anyway. And yeah, that was really it. But I mean, we started P11, we managed to fight up to P6, and all things considered, that was a pretty good going. Anton gave me a good strategy. I think I drove a pretty clean, good race, made some good overtakes.
40.
Yeah, wasn't our most fortunate race, you know. Q2 was extremely unlucky with the rain. Yeah, the Jake half spin wasn't ideal either, but we managed to have a little bit of fun in this race, which was kind of my objective going into it. But yeah, definitely in the future, if I do decide to do more league races, yeah, probably not ideal if you're using 120 FPS, which is maybe something to consider for the future. But yeah, we crossed line P6.
Why,
Should have pitted Wilson.
our tyres were finished at the end.
Should have pitted Wilson earlier, running with the same group. Alright, yeah.
So thank you very much everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the first league racing video of the year. It'll be the first of many, I'm sure. And yeah, I hope that you enjoyed me racing in PSGL again, even if it was a little bit scrappier than normal. But nonetheless, we had bits of fun, put on some good overtakes, and yeah, it was hopefully entertaining for you guys to watch. Thanks for watching. Like the video, comment what you thought down below as well. Always like reading your comments, and yeah, subscribe if you would like to see some more action in the future. Take care, everybody. I love yous all, and I'll see yous in the next one. Ciao, ciao.